Hello. Today, we're going to discuss the true purpose of twin flames, and I'm even going to give you the benefit of explaining how you can tell this is the true purpose of twin flames. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kurt. I am the world's leading twin flame coach. Almost 6,000 paying coaching students to date who I've personally coached, and I've caused thousands of unions. And here's how I did it. By looking at the obvious stuff, right? Not reinventing the wheel. My message has always been the same. We know exactly what this is. It's not a mystery what twin flames are and what they are all about. And I think by the end of this video, you're going to have some very different insight about what this really is all about. And maybe some things that you've never really heard before when it comes to this topic. Your twin flame journey starts in an extremely painful way. It's excruciating. The sleepless nights, the obsessive thinking, this weird sense of meaninglessness that just overcomes you. You can't eat, you can't sleep, you cannot function. Sound familiar? Yeah, I was there, guys. 6 months I spent in the fetal position, bawling myself to sleep every night, screaming into my pillow, and then couldn't function at work, couldn't do anything except for think about this person. And the obsessive thinking. Oh my God, that's so bizarre. The obsessive thinking is so weird, you guys, because you can't turn it off. It's like it's happening to you. If you don't understand what I mean by obsessive thinking, you haven't met your twin flame. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason the obsessive thinking is going on. So real quick, by the way, also look for me over here on this platform, same name, New World All-Star. Right over here, we're going to be talking about some cool shit right here, guys. So go find me on here. Not twin flames. We're not going to be talking about twin flames over here. If you make twin flame comments on my videos, they're not going to be responded to. There's plenty of twin flame stuff on this YouTube channel, so check me out over there. Lots of other cool stuff on that platform. So let's quickly break down what twin flames are, because when you understand what twin flames really are, then we can have a meaningful dialogue about what is the purpose of meeting your twin flame. Now, there's a lot of differing opinions on the internet about twin flames, about what to do about it, about how to get them to unblock you, how to feel better, why you met your twin flame, etc., etc. And you're looking around at the internet and you're going, I don't know who to listen to. Everybody's kind of got a little bit of a different thing going on. But the one thing everybody agrees on when it comes to twin flames is that it is one soul in two bodies, or it's like the soul splits, or you're the same soul vibration, or something like that, right? And that is absolutely correct. And here's why I said earlier, we know exactly what this is. Just don't reinvent the wheel, guys. It's actually really easy to understand what twin flames are. And when you understand what twin flames are, not only will you understand the purpose of meeting your twin flame, but what you can do about it, because there's a lot you can do about it, guys. Believe me, okay? So here is a simple diagram that I use often on this YouTube channel, and I'm going to keep doing that because I'm trying to get this message out there. I'm trying to get the correct twin flame teaching out there. And by the way, I'm not even the guy that figured it out. I don't know who figured it out. And I'll tell you what I mean by that in a minute. Somebody figured it out before the internet, right? Let's just put it that way. Now, this diagram you'll often see around in books. You'll see other spiritual teachers talking about like soul families and soul groups and things like that, right? You'll see this diagram around. If you look for information about soul families or reincarnation, you'll probably come across something like this. Why? I don't know, because it's an ancient teaching and we already know how this works. And by the way, what's really cool about the way that I like to present this information is I do so in a science-based way which shows you, no, this is real. This is a known phenomenon. We already know exactly what's going on here. So that you're not crazy. You're not crazy, okay? This is a real phenomenon. It's not a concept. It is a phenomenon, twin flames. So what this represents is the oversoul in heaven, or what people call your higher self, and heaven, the energy part of the universe. Physics currently is referring to it as the Higgs field. Greg Braden calls it the divine matrix. They used to call it the luminiferous ether, but you're not supposed to say that anymore, right? That's like bad etiquette in the science world. But we're all talking about the same thing. It's the energy part of the universe. It's where you return when you do the thing that we call die. Your body goes away, your mind goes away. What's left? You, the soul, which is consciousness. Remember, we're not reinventing the wheel. Body, mind, soul. You just got to understand how this thing works. And again, I'm not even giving you my opinion. These are ancient spiritual teachings that we're going to discuss today in this video. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We already know exactly what's going on. So the higher self, your oversoul in heaven, its perspective is in a higher dimension. So now we're talking like relativity, Albert Einstein, basically, right? And from a higher dimension, time breaks down. There is no time. There's only one moment. And that's really how physics says time works. From our limited perspective in 3D density, time is malleable. You can change how quickly time proceeds. You can do that. They've even measured that. NASA, they have to deal with it on space missions, actually. Okay, it's for really real, works that way. And when you move to a higher dimension, there is no time at all. There's only one moment. So in other words, from the perspective of your higher self in the energy part of the universe, the field, all of these incarnations are happening at the same time. And your mind can't understand this because the mind is linear. Okay? But this is beyond linear time. It's consciousness, which is non-duality. The mind works on duality. It's linear, past, future, plus, minus. Again, I'm not reinventing the wheel. These are ancient teachings, and even science is finding congruence with these teachings. How cool is that? Okay, so this is your past life in the year 1750, we'll just say 1870. This is you and your twin flame, and this is your next reincarnation in the future. That's all this is, guys. That's all this is. Your twin flame and you are simultaneous incarnations of the same soul. Now, because the mind is duality and 3D reality is duality, when consciousness enters density and sees its own reflection on the same plane, P-L-A-N-E, there is a polarization. It's metaphysical. It's on the plane of mental duality. Again, I'm not making this stuff up. These are ancient spiritual teachings. And I'm even going to give you some resources so you can fact check me on this. These are ancient spirit. I'm giving you lots of resources in this video, actually. Yin, yang, alpha, omega, light, dark. That's what everybody's been talking about. The mind is duality. Duality. I like it, I don't like it. I feel good, I feel bad. Yin, yang, etc., etc. Now, when consciousness sees itself on the physical plane of duality, the consciousness manifests in a polarized fashion, yin and yang, polarization, because of the law of duality in 3D density. You're taking non-duality consciousness. Again, this is a known spiritual teaching. Consciousness is non-duality. The soul is consciousness. When it manifests in density, the 3D world, it becomes polarized. And in physics, quantum physics, they've recently validated that this is true through the phenomenon of not only quantum entanglement, but also the collapse of the wave function. And these two phenomenon are converging into a new theory called information realism. Go check it out online. It's very controversial right now, but these are real physicists. And again, this actually lines up perfectly with ancient spiritual teachings. The philosophy of ancient spiritualism and the description of how the soul works, if you will, and how the mind works are perfectly congruent with what physics is uncovering. And again, we already know this stuff. You can go find this picture if you look around, look for soul families. For example, your twin flame is another incarnation of your soul. It's just both incarnations are happening right now. When you look at your twin flame, tell yourself, that's me having another experience in another body. And you might be asking yourself, well, Kurt, if this is my soul, why are they running? Why are they rejecting me? Why are they being kind of a dick? Why are they blah, 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 right? It's because you're asking, you're thinking about it. Thought is duality. You push, they pull away. Yin, yang, push, pull. You focus on them, they don't focus on you. And here's the kicker. Here's what will make this all make sense to you. You, in quotation marks, you are not actually that which focuses on them. The mind is. So now, the principle of transcendentalism, transcending identification as the ego personality. You are not your mind. You are not emotional. You are not mental. We're not saying those things are bad. That's just not what you really are. When you do the thing that we call die, the mind goes away. Mental, emotional, right? The mind, okay? The body goes away. What's left? Consciousness, non-duality, soul. It's not thought. It's not emotion. And I know the internet is jammed full of people who are trying to explain what they think is going on. You're going to come across spiritual teachers on YouTube that are going to blow you up with all kinds of stuff about how the soul is emotional. No, it is not. That is not the ancient spiritual teaching of non-duality. And again, I'm not criticizing. I know everybody's just trying to figure out what's going on, but we already know this stuff. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, okay? Just stick with the proven spiritual teachings. You are consciousness. And this is exactly what Buddha, Jesus, Eckhart Tolle, Hare Krishna, Krishnamurti, Yogananda, just on and on and on and on and on. All the great spiritual masters. This has been their message. You are consciousness. You are not your body. You are not your mind. Transcend the separation consciousness of the mind is the purpose of meeting your twin flame. Now, when you do that, yeah, they tend to unblock you and come back and start talking to you. They'll unblock you, guys. They will, but it's an after effect. It's a byproduct. It's extra. It's a bonus. You're not even focusing on the person anymore. And remember, it's the mind actually that focuses on the person. You have forgotten who you are. You believe you are your mind, just like everybody else on earth. Eckhart Tolle calls it the human condition. The human condition. Forgetting who you are. You believe you are this personality, this identity, a form, a story, a history. This is who I am. I've done these things. I am these things. It's a description. It's mental and emotional. And we're not saying that's bad. That's just what that is. In ancient Zen spiritualism, they call that the separate self. Go watch my video called Twin Flames, Separation Consciousness, Unity Consciousness, Union, and Detaching. It's on the homepage of my YouTube channel, at least right now. But you can find it in my True Twin Flame Teachings playlist. Twin Flames, Separation Consciousness, Unity Consciousness, and Detaching. Those words are not twin flame terminologies. This is your spiritual awakening. That's why the obsessive thinking, the sense of meaninglessness, it's your ego personality being broken apart so that it can be washed away by the non-duality consciousness of your soul, which is your twin flame. And when you do that, that's when your twin flame stops rejecting you, starts being nice to you. They'll chase you for a change. And by the time that happens, you're absolutely not focused on them because you're clear that you are not that which does the focusing on them. You are not your mind. The mind is duality. Me, them. There's me and my twin flame. There's me and there's other, and we are separate, separation consciousness. That is the job of the mind. That's its purpose. It's not broken because it's doing that. That's what it's for. But it's not who you are. We have forgotten who we are. Again, this is an ancient spiritual teaching. Remembrance of who you really are as consciousness is the purpose of meeting your twin flame. You transcend the separation consciousness of the mind, the duality of mind, me, other, duality, separation, and you enter a state of unity consciousness, union. That's where those words came from. Detaching, same thing. You're going to detach. To detach from your twin flame is to detach from your mind. You are not your mind. You are consciousness. And when you do that, yeah, your twin flame comes back. But you're not even trying to get them to come back. You're not even focused on them at all. You're all internal, guys. You're all expanding your consciousness, remembering who you really are, a spiritual being, which is consciousness, inhabiting a body and a mind. But when you remember who you are, that's what this is all about. That's the purpose of twin flames. It's to awaken you. When your twin flame comes back, that's just extra. That's just a byproduct. But that's really how that works. That's how you can get your twin flame to come back, by not trying, but instead remembering who you are. You are the soul. That's your twin flame. You're the same soul. What do you think is going to happen when you align with your soul? I don't know. Your other incarnation is going to start talking to you. Bingo. Do you get it? I thought so. Guys, I hope I've enlightened you today and give you something a little bit different. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.